So hopefully this video is going to really help you understand not just first-time home buyers, but really all home buyers to help you understand what are the costs associated with purchasing a home. So in the example that I'm going to look at here is a purchase in Toronto with a purchase price of $750,000. A minimum down payment of 5%, or the minimum down payment is required. Now 5% would be the minimum requirement of the first $500,000, and that would be $25,000. On the remaining balance of that, which would be $250,000, so the 750 minus the 500,000, it is required to put down a minimum 10% on that remaining balance. So that would be another $25,000. So the minimum down payment requirement here would be $50,000. And the mortgage amount before the CMHC, which I'll talk about in a second, would be $700,000. So that would be the size of this mortgage. Now, because this particular buyer only put down the absolute minimum required, they're going to be required to pay what's called an insurance premium. This is often known as the CMHC insurance premium, but they're not the only providers of this, but they are certainly the most commonly known. And this premium amount can change. The larger the down payment, the lower this premium can drop. Anytime you put a down payment of less than 20%, you're going to be required to pay the CMHC premium amount. And this amount is then added to the mortgage amount. So the new mortgage amount with this premium is now going to be $728,000. Let's move now down to closing costs. The closing costs here, we've got land transfer tax. And in Toronto, because this is the example we're using, it is the only municipality that applies their own land transfer tax. Every other municipality in the province of Ontario only pays the Ontario, or the provincial land transfer tax, which in this case would be $11,475. Same thing in Toronto, they use the same calculation. So this particular individual would be paying $22,950 in land transfer tax. If you're a first-time buyer, there is a rebate of up to $4,000 for the Ontario amount, and there's a rebate of up to $4,475 for the Toronto amount. If only one of the spouses qualifies, then 50% of that amount is going to be the rebate amount. Okay, so that's what we see here. Moving down, some other closing cost expenses would be the lawyer's fees, and the lawyer's fees are broken down typically with disbursements and the HST tax, which is about $1,300. Now, disbursements usually are out-of-pocket expenses that a lawyer would have, things like tax searches, land title registration fees, photocopies, couriers, stamps, things like that. Any out-of-pocket expense that that lawyer is going to pass on to you, those are known as the disbursements, would give you the total lawyer's fee. The other thing that the lawyer is going to talk to you about is the title insurance. Title simply is the legal term for ownership, and the title insurance is a policy that is recommended. It is not you're not obligated to take that out, but it is strongly recommended. It's a conversation that you'll have with your lawyer. It simply protects anything that may have somehow been missed during this initial title search and lien search that the lawyer did, because he's doing his best to transfer over a clean title. So you've got full ownership of the property and there's no issues. But in the event that something is missed and you don't receive clean title, there's defects of some sort with that title, this is what the title insurance is intended to cover. Any survey issues that come up, any outstanding payments, condo fees, tax amounts, liens of any kind. If those things should suddenly come up, they were missed, the title insurance protects you against you paying all of that. And the title insurance is a one-time fee, and it covers you for the duration that you own that property. So the total legal fees you're going to pay $16,500. Home inspection, I put down $475. Now this could range quite a bit depending on the types of services that you have your home inspector do. More and more home inspectors offer various types of services that, you know, they've got some fancy gadgets out there, but typically, in my experience, home inspections should not cost you more than $500. The other fee here is one that is often missed, and this is the tax on the CMHC premium that we had earlier. So going back up here, what was it? It was $28,000 was the premium that was added to the mortgage. But on that $28,000, there was an 8% provincial tax that was charged, and that this amount is not added to the mortgage. So it's something that you're gonna have to pay out of pocket. So when we add up all of the closing costs, the land transfer tax, the home inspection, the premium, the tax on the CMHC premium, the total closing costs required out of pocket you're going to need is an additional $27,315. So this individual, to buy a home in Toronto, priced at $750, is going to need a minimum $77,000 in his pocket. If you do not have that, I would say you're not going to be able to buy this property. So there you have it. You've got the breakdown. These are all of the expenses that are required with buying a home. There shouldn't be any surprises. If anybody's telling you a number that somehow is missing some of these figures, reach out, give me a call, and let's figure out your situation. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you on the next video.